What up, what up, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Season 3, Week 3, going on ahead and going into our third game after our second victory in a row to start the season off fresh. 2-0, definitely gotta, love the nice start. So hopefully we can keep the ball rolling and continue the winning streak that we have. So, really, I didn't have too many close games in Season 1 and 2. Season 3, both victories were tough. You know what I mean? I definitely were in instances where I possibly could have lost both. You know what I mean? So, thankfully, we were able to pull it out. But, I'm going up against better competition. I can tell that the players I'm going up against are more knowledgeable at the game than when I previously first started. And I was going up against, people that weren't really all that good. These guys are definitely better, I can tell. So, going ahead, we're going to look at his team here. And he has a Warren Moon. 95 Warren Moon to 98 Thurman Thomas, 94 Marcel Reese. You see he's got receivers with speed. Also got some possession guys in Nelson and Fitzgerald. Awesome offensive line. I hate seeing people with a good offensive line, man. Makes me jealous, man. Makes me jealous. I'm like, I want that. Reggie White, 98 on the left. Deacon Jones, 99 on the right. We got Jack Ham. Oh, Mean Joe Grizz. Oh, man. This guy's team is nasty. It is nasty. He has studs up and down his lineup. And I'm just like, okay, this might be a tough one. His team is definitely better than mine. But as we all know, that right there doesn't mean too much. If you know what you're doing, ultimately the better player usually wins. Usually. You know what I mean? As long as this team isn't severely better than mine. If I had a 32 overall team and he had a 99 team, no matter how good you are, it's tough to make that big of a difference. But I got a 90 overall team. I would say his team is probably around 96, 97, somewhere around there. And hopefully, we can go on ahead and play smart. As you see, Thurman Thomas breaks the tackle and takes it all the way to the end zone. And that is where the 98 overall players come in handy. They just break tackles, So here we go, our first offensive possession. Hopefully we can go on ahead and retaliate with the score. So really quick, nice little quick corner route with Underwood, picking up the first down. So we go back to the shotgun. Actually, first play was out of single back snugs, but we give it to Murray right here. We hit him with the read option. And this is what Mutt has a lot of people in. Now, this is no disrespect to Mutt players, but, you can tell that when somebody relies on their team a little too much. He's playing as a defensive lineman, and, let's be honest. Any player with any real skill, they're not going to play with defensive linemen. It's a handicap, you know what I mean? You have to use her, either a linebacker or a safety or somewhere where you can go on ahead and lock down a certain area of the field. When I see somebody playing as a lineman, I just don't think that they have any user skill, and they usually stick to just man-to-man and let their team do everything for them. And this is where a game, just that instant, you know what I mean? He's good on offense, you know what I mean? But it doesn't take much to be good on offense in Madden. It really doesn't. Madden is an offensive-based game, and offense is a lot easier to learn than defense. And, he's somebody who truly relies on the strength of his team, and a lot of Mutt players are like that. Back in Madden 13, I really didn't get into Mutt because I would go up against these 98 overall teams with, 99 overall team, 4-star Deons, 4-star, Dick Lanes and all this stuff. And I know I'm better than them. They were just sticking man-to-man, but my 82 overall Deshaun Jackson couldn't break free from a 4-star 99 Deion Sanders. And I'm like, all he was doing is just sitting in man-to-man. And I know it beats man-to-man, but my players aren't good enough to create separation from his guys. And that's why I didn't like it. I didn't like it because I just felt like it was a bunch of guys who weren't that talented at the game relying on their team. And, I feel like he is one of those guys on defense. Somebody who just relies on the strength of him having a powerhouse on defense doing everything for him. Just man-to-man, playing as a defensive lineman. You see he's controlling the left end right there. And we end up going to a read option. And RG3, go the way. We end up jumping our way almost into the end zone on the 1 yard line, and we end up squeezing in with Tannehill. Now, you are seeing me doing a hybrid of changes between Tannehill and RG3. Obviously, RG3 has more agility and elusiveness and speed at quarterback, so when I feel like I want to do a designed run, I switch in RG3 and keep Tannehill in there when I feel like I'm going to go on a nice little stretch of passing. But don't get me wrong, if you happen to go against me, you see RG3 back there, don't run commit because it just might not be a run. You know what I mean? So here we go, back on defense, man. We could really use a stop. You know, he knows what he's doing on offense. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit here and say he's relying on his team on offense as well. You know, he definitely has a clue what he's doing, and he has studs back there. So, which makes it even tougher to try and stop somebody who knows what they're doing, and they have a tough team surrounding him. You know, defensively, I would look at him breaking a sack, and I was so frustrated, but it's a fumble, and I'm like, he broke a sack on 4th down, which should have been my ball, and then he fumbled, and we will gladly take that. Look at him, he's just playing man-to-man, and it's overwhelming on how many people play like this. You know, they have a bomb team, and I'm just like, wow, you just sitting man-to-man. Like, how do you expect to beat people playing this way? Like, unless you play Fag D, man-to-man is so easy to beat in this game. Only way that I've had trouble with man-to-man is if you do your lineman in purples to cover the outside, because by the time I'm breaking towards the sideline, you have the purple route heading over there, so they will pick it up. But as you see, he's just sticking in man-to-man, and I'm just having no problem whatsoever moving the ball against him on out routes, and he's refusing to change up his defense. You know, he's not switching up the zones. He's just continuously calling man-to-man and just relying, again, on the strength of his defense. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, a defense like this will eat you alive because they're so talented. Right here, he does call his zone, but you know, we had him figured out that if you did call his zone, it was probably going to be a cover 4 or something like that. So we had a comeback route, which was against the deep blue, and we end up winning that battle right there, going up 17-7. And it happens like I went up against a 98 overall team. Let me know if you guys are interested in this game. This guy was streaming. His name is Master Moyer, and he had a 98 overall team. His team is nasty. One of the best teams I've ever seen. You're talking about almost 99 at every single position. Dude's team is nasty, and we played the game. But he is somebody, as I could tell, streaming. You know, I knew what type. You know, he was one of those players who would sit in man-to-man and cover 4, and he wins tons of games. He wins. You know, he's playing games. He just plays, you know, 2 man under, and I'm thinking to myself, how are people struggling against him? You know what I mean? It's so easy to be man-to-man. And a lot of guys just rely on their team. And I felt like he was like that on defense. You know, if this guy got better at defense, he's going to be a problem because he's definitely has a good idea on offense. It's just defense where, you know, he just calls man-to-man and plays as a defensive lineman. And I can tell you from experience, you're not going to find any dominant player playing as a defensive lineman. You know what I mean? If you want to get better at the game, you want to get better at defense, you want to usually the middle of the field or wherever it is you want to play. You know what I mean? You have to user it and try your best to take away that section of the field, you know, because playing as a defensive lineman, you're not going to really affect the game too much. You know what I mean? You're not going to cause too much havoc. I mean, you could be block shedding a beast back there, but for the most part, you're really not going to cause that much of an issue. Where if you got somebody who got some good user skills and they're hawking the middle and they're surrounding you and undercutting the routes you want to go to or baiting you, it makes it tougher to move the ball. But so far, so good. You know, 3 games, 3 victories. Went up against a very dominant team, but his defense was very simplistic, and we took advantage of that, being able to be comfortable with moving the ball down the field. When in doubt, throw the out. I said when in doubt, throw the outs. So 3 games, 3 victories. Hopefully we could keep this momentum going, baby. Hopefully we can keep it going all the way to the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go ahead and hopefully get our second Super Bowl victory. So that's the end of the game, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, It's your boy GS, and we are signing out. Peace. Give it to me, baby. Or Mr. Golden Mutt.